It's alright, All right, so good morning again, and still welcome back to this vacancy, and we're talking consequences of unpaid benefits, unpaid salaries, and reimbursements. If allowances are held back, does it affect the worker? Does it have any direct impact on the economy? If salaries are not paid, what are the consequences of unpaid salaries? And we're going to let you take part in this by calling 07050 92427 That's the number, and you can join us. Would like to know what the consequences are when you don't get paid. What are the consequences on your side? The one that people normally just know is that when people are not paid, they might go on strike, and the strike then shuts down, depending on what sector. Can you imagine when the doctors complain that their salaries have not been paid, or benefits or allowances, or something that they agreed upon with either the labor ministry or with their employers, and they don't get it and they go on strike? The consequences then trickles down to the people who work in the hospital, the people who need the services of doctors, and it becomes worse. If workers or the press believe that they have not been know that they've not been paid and go on strike, it means that the dissemination of information would then be limited, and that's why you then get skeletal workers. It means that the optimum value would not be gotten from such organizations. So you can reach us on 070 92427. That's our number. We'll be expecting your calls. But straight up, let me tell you, one thing is, once salaries are not paid and allowances are not coming through, it leads to corruption. The kind of corruption that it will lead to, you would not even understand. So in your organization, if people find out that you're not paying salaries at the time you're supposed to pay salaries, they begin to find ways to cut corners. So if you send them to go get something that is supposed to be about maybe 400 naira, they come back and tell you that it's 700 naira so that they can make something to keep them till you pay the salaries. Most times, people believe that when you don't pay the salaries, and especially when they see that they're earning money or they're making money for the organization, all right, then you begin to get loss of loyalty. We have a caller from Abuja. Hello.
Yeah, good morning. My name is
Hello, we
Eze.
have a
I'm
caller
calling
from
from
Abuja.
Abuja. Yeah, Eze, calling from Abuja.
I think we lost the caller, I guess. All right.
Hello.
The other thing.
Eze.
Hello.
Yeah, my name is Eze. I'm calling from Abuja.
Well, while we're still waiting for our caller from Abuja, I need to
Eze from Abuja.
one reason that a lot of people go into private practice, which is called PP, in our in the entertainment employment circles, is called PP because there are people who then decide that since they're not getting so much money from this salary, or the salaries are not coming and benefits are not coming at the right time, they begin to do private practice. And PP is one thing that civil servants do a lot. So somebody who is working as a secretary is selling Zobo or selling cola nuts in the office just to make do, because they know that the salaries are not coming at the time when it should. And when allowances are not paid, because the allowances help to cushion the effect of the economy. And it means that the economic hardship will tell on them. They either don't then get to work early because instead of take the public transport that will be faster, they will now have to go by a bus that needs to take a longer time to get filled. The consequences are a lot. I was talking with one of my workers, artisans, 2 weeks ago. He told me the cost of fuel might go up during Christmas. And I asked why. He said because as the Nupeng staff might go on strike. And I said, no, that they're not going on strike. I said, no, what if they go on strike? And so I was wondering, why would they go on strike? Apparently, they were on paid bills. So most of all these unpaid bills are the reasons that make people go on strike, like ASU. ASU will go on strike. Ratau may go on strike. And if Ratau goes on strike, it means it will affect the broadcast of information. Like I said, the number again is 070507 92427. That's the number you can reach us on. Another important thing is that most people live by what they spend. Most people live by what they do every day. And so when people don't get their salaries, it means that, let's take a restaurant. As simple as a restaurant is, the business of a restaurant. If you have a restaurant in an organization and people pay you as they come to eat, if they don't get salaries, it means that you don't get your money till the end of the month as well. We have a caller from Abuja. Hello, Samuel.
I can hear you.
Okay, Samuel, how are you? Samuel, we're talking the consequences of unpaid salaries, benefits, and allowances. All right. I think. Hello. I think we lost Samuel there. Okay. Samuel, if you're still there, try and get back to us. The topic we're discussing is the consequences of unpaid salaries, benefits, allowances, and reimbursements. Now, for reimbursements, you tell your staff that they need to do something. Oh, we need diesel, or you need to go see a client, and he says that the vehicle is not around, and you say, okay, take an Uber. And the person takes an Uber, goes to do what you want him to do, and then comes back, and his request for reimbursement comes up to about like 5,000 naira. When you don't get that 5,000 back to the staff, any other time that you ask that the staff should go on such errands, they wouldn't want their money before they go, because it means that they would have been spending their money. Hello, we have Abubakar calling from Maiduguri.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Abubakar.
Good morning.
Morning.
We are talking on unpaid salary.
Consequences of
This
unpaid
is what I asked
salaries.
for.
How does unpaid salaries affect our economy? Yes.
Yes, if, for example, this servant was not paid now. Hello, can you hear me?
I'm listening.
Our civil servants in Borno State now, they are like local government workers. Some government workers now, they cannot get their salary and they cannot get their salary and so like minimum wage, they are talking about minimum wage, they think minimum wage, so they do not take them their minimum wage like primary school teachers. Hello?
Okay. No, we're not talking about minimum wage. We're talking about unpaid salaries. Whatever the wage is, we're talking of the consequences of unpaid salaries. What happens when people don't get their salaries paid?
Yes, they get frustrated when they don't get their salary charge. So some of the teachers or common workers, they get
I'm not getting you, and I think that our viewers too will not be following you. But thanks for calling. All right. What we're trying to say is that once there is a failure, or when once salaries are not paid, there are consequences, and we're trying to look at the consequences. And so if you're calling, would like you to know that we're looking at the consequences of unpaid salaries. When salaries don't get paid, what happens? I mentioned that sometimes unpaid salaries lead to unpaid school fees. When some salaries don't get paid, the parents of the parents cannot then pay school fees. Sometimes if the child wants to buy a particular form, like a GCE form or so, and they don't get their salaries paid, they default in the payment. House rent, transportation, housekeeping. You find sometimes that it is most times when those salaries don't get paid that people then depend on borrowing from the daily collectors. The daily collectors, then you go to them and say, give me this money before this month finishes, and which also leads to buying on credit. We know of, I have a friend who is in the Federal Secretariat in Abuja, and he says that one way that he makes a lot of money is he has money to borrow to people at a premium. So I said, is that not PP? He said, so he should stop giving the money and people will not come to work, that he's helping the federal government. If Okay, we have someone who's calling from Abuja. Hello, Samuel.
Good morning.
Good morning, Samuel. How are you?
Okay, the consequences of unpaid salary, I think that is very, very, for example, for someone working in a private organization or private sector,
Yeah,
and the salary is not paid,
I'm listening.
the person will find it difficult to, let me just say, transportation. For example, you are not touching money every day in office, and at the end of the month, the salary is withheld or is not paid. You will find it very difficult to go to work, and that can lead to, let me say, just a downfall of that organization. For example, you are not paid a salary or a wages that is supposed to go to work tomorrow, and you don't have any means of getting money to go to work. If you work, and any other thing can go wrong in the office.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
So it's very, very bad.
Thank you.
I don't think it's a very good idea for you are working and it's not good.
All right, then. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Most often, the consequences of unpaid salaries even go beyond. What camera am I on now? What? Okay, the consequences of unpaid salaries go beyond transportation. It affects the psyche of the worker. The worker is not so sure of responsibilities he should bear. The worker then fails to do the things that he should do. For instance, if there is an exam that he needs to take to get better, he doesn't have money to even register for the exam, and so he 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 doesn't have money to register for the exam, and he would not then improve himself, because self-improvement is also very important. And when you do not pay those salaries, it affects them. Hello, we have a call again. Hello, Akim.
Good morning.
Good morning, Akim. How are you?
Okay. My contribution is there are two reasons why people work. One of the reasons is self-satisfaction, and the second one is remuneration. When an organization fails the as in remuneration is passed, two things are bound to happen. One, the people are forcefully as in reduce the corruption. That's you engage in corrupt practices just to make sure that you're still in the office.
Sure.
So another thing is the motivation level. When you're not paid, you're demotivated in the office. So definitely, if
Thank you very much. I'm sure Akim's boss just walked in. All right. Okay, so here Akim was saying that once you don't get paid, it leads to corruption, and he also said that motivation will be low because the staff will not want to put in their best when they know that the salaries don't come. Regarding, I need to go back to the reimbursement. Reimbursement is, it then looks like you are funding the company that you're working for. If things need to be done and you make a request and the the money doesn't come out for those things to be done, and you know that it is necessary for it to be done, and you spend your money and then apply for the money to be returned to you, and it takes a while for that to be done, it means any other time that such need comes up, you then hold back because you're not sure that your money will come back to you. There are certain cases when people have to go write exams in different organizations. And what? Hello, we have a caller
yeah, good
coming from
morning.
Abuja. Morning.
Yes, my name is Eze. I'm calling from Abuja.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so the challenge there, though it depends on individuals. So some will understand that there's no money for payment, but most people, it will be a grievous one to them because one, they have a society, family to cater for, not only for that family themselves, and we talk about the transportation and all that. Then beyond that, that person cannot be able to put in his or her best.
Okay, thank you.
Like a biased mind.
Okay.
You understand? Mm-hmm. And he or she might be thinking negatively.
Sure.
To make sure that he makes money or she makes money elsewhere, by so doing, there will be a problem somewhere. Then the reputation of which they know the company of might not really come out when they needed it. Why? Because something happened along the way. The boss or whoever in quotes refused or withheld the salary of the worker. And of course, we all know that even a servant or what's it called?
The house help.
A worker deserves his or her own salary. You can imagine it for 30 days or 31 days or thereabouts. You work for someone else under debt, and you are not even expecting anything from it. It's I don't know. They should stop it and they make sure it's not a caution, because they are not making it to be a caution. Myself, I'm a victim of all this. I've worked for somebody for 18 good months. As I speak to you, I'm yet to get anything from that person.
Oh wow. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Okay, now there's one more point that including all the points I've mentioned, the consequences of unpaid salaries. One is that you lose passion, and then you can't fulfill the responsibilities that you're supposed to do. Then it leads to corruption. It also encourages bribery, because people then feel like then if they can get anything from the organization, then it leads to private practice. But one very important thing is that most good hands then leave that organization. The organization that requires good hands and doesn't pay the salaries, the people who are there then move the pot to any other organization, which is why you have brain drain when people who are supposed to be earning well do not. The last point is that it depletes savings that workers are supposed to depend on. When salaries are not paid, they begin to use out of those savings. So if they had a plan for something, if it was like, oh, this house, I'm going to complete this house with about 120,000 naira, and they've kept the money and thought about buying cement or all of that, they now begin to spend out of that money, waiting till that money comes back. And when that money comes back, the value of cement would have gone up. And so it then disturbs them from and holds them back from completing something that they're working on. The consequences of unpaid salaries, benefits, allowances, and reimbursement is what we're talking about today on Vacancy. And I want to say that if you have any other contribution, you can send us vacancywithalibaba@gmail.com, or you can leave us a message on Vacancy with Alibaba on Instagram and on Twitter as well. Thank you so much for coming to us. We are reaching you from the Lagos Network Center. We're reaching you from Lagos Network Center. And Vacancy with Alibaba will be back next week. Next week, we're going to be talking about something very important. What should you give to your staff for Christmas? What should you give to your staff for Christmas? That's what we'll be talking about. I know that all the NTA staff are all getting bags of rice, turkey, chicken, and all of that stuff. So they're all getting... thank you, DG. I'll put him in a tight spot now. All right? So until next week, have a wonderful week.
Lives are in your hands while you drive. Protect yourself and others on the road. Road Matters, shown on the network service of the NTA every Thursday at 11 a.m. Join us.
Dab. Yes. One day as I did dab, they go. Now I see my neighbor on top electric pole. Don't be hammer you hold so.
Before, so
Climb every day. Come on, electric bill. You not gree pay.
waiting concern you for there. I beg you, come over here.
Okay, oh. I don't talk my own. As I dab reach house. Yeah! Fire! Fire! My brand new flat screen.
Hold up.
Waiting concern you for there. I beg you, come over here.
Government property, now my property. If you don't come down now, I go report.
No be only report. Now report card.
Dab, 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 dab. Yes.
This is the network service of the NTA.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. David Ajibade, and welcome to Your Health in Your Hands. I'm the founder